Hey everyone, and welcome back. I hope you're all doing well today. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to change the tube and tire on your new Serial 1 e-bike. Now this task might seem daunting, but don't worry. I'm going to walk you through every single step and provide tricks and tips on how I do this task almost every day. Let's check it out. So when you're replacing your tubes and tires, Serial 1 recommends Schwalbe Supermoto X 27.5 by 2.8 tires for the MOSH City, Schwalbe Supermoto X 27.5 by 2.4 tires for the RUSH City, their corresponding 27.5 inner tube, a few tire levers, and finally, a floor pump. If the tire isn't already completely flat, open the pressure valve and release all the air. Next, you need to break the wheel's bead into the rim. You can do this by pushing the tire with your palm. This may be difficult, but if you work your way around the wheel, pressing in the tire, this will loosen the bead and it will come off the rim. This may take a few attempts because of how tough these tires are, but stay persistent, you got this. With the bead broken into the rim, you can use a tire lever to lever one bead side off the rim. Once you have the bead with your lever, you can pull the lever around the whole wheel to release the bead from the rim. With one bead off the rim, you can remove the tube starting on the opposing side to the stem. With only the valve left of the tube to be removed, you can pull back the tire and remove the valve. Note, if you are only changing the tube, you can skip ahead to where I reinstall a new tube, but make sure to check for any debris or objects that might have pierced the tube and need to be removed, such as a wire, thorns, or a piece of glass. Now if you are changing the tire as well, it is time to work the second tire bead off the rim to take off the tire completely. After you remove the tube and tire, carefully inspect the inside of the tire for debris and sharp objects. Once the old tire is removed, take your new tire and find the direction it is supposed to roll on the sidewall. Align your tire and rim in the forward direction, making sure that the rotor is on the left side and the rotation of the tire is pointing forwards. With the orientation correct, take the new tire and put one bead side onto the rim. You can line up the logo on the tire with the valve stem hole for easy access when pumping up the tire. Next, grab your tube and inflate it slightly until its shape begins to form. Make sure to check my previous video on how to air up a pressure valve if needed. Next, you insert the stem of your tube into the valve hole of the rim, while pulling back the tire bead across the width of the rim. Gently insert the rest of the tube into the tire, working away from the valve. Make sure the tube is completely inside the tire and not visibly bulging out from the wheel. Now starting at the valve stem, begin to tuck in the second bead. Work around the wheel, pushing in the second bead. Make sure not to pinch the new tube in between the rim and tire, or it can puncture. If you are struggling with this part, that is totally okay. The key to getting the second bead into the rim is making sure portions of the bead that you have tucked into the rim already are not seated on the rim yet. Make sure the bead is off the rim and it is sitting in the rim's width center. This allows the bead to stretch easier because the center of the rim has a smaller diameter. Keep working at it, making sure the bead isn't seated in parts you have tucked in already. Use your thumbs to break off the bead if this does occur, and then keep working your way around the tire away from the valve stem. Try as much as you can without a tire lever because they pose the risk of popping the tube again. If you cannot fold the bead back into the rim, grab your tire lever and place the flat end under the bead and lift the bead back into place. You may have to do this multiple places or with multiple levers. Try to use your thumbs as much as possible and leave only a small stretch of the bead to lever on. With both beads on the rim, pump up the tire slowly. Check that the beads are seating into the rim properly and that the tube is not sticking out. There is a line around each tire just outside the rim that should always be showing. If a portion is tucked in the rim, let out the air and pull the tire's height out a bit by pulling across the width with both hands. With this in mind, pump up your tires to 30 psi, checking that the beads are correctly seated. This is the pressure our engineers at Serial 1 recommend for the safest and most comfortable ride. So that is all I have for this video, but I hope my tricks and tips helped you through this process of changing your tube and tire. If you do have any more questions, check out serial1.com, the support page. Tons of info over there. Otherwise, I'll see you all next time.